On this video, I would like to help you play the song You Can Touch This, and this is going to be our version here at the Hit Music Studio, which we sometimes make some little changes to make sure that our students, which most of them are young, are able to play this type of songs. So let's start by saying that in this one, I think it's super important to be able to count. You want to count out loud, and you want to count 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. The reason for that is because we're going to be having multiple kick drums that are going to happen on some of those syllables, which are parts of the ends. So here, to begin with, I would practice this first, just doing 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Make sure that you can play and count at the same time. You want to count out loud enough that someone can hear you if they're in the same room as you. So I think the second step would be to start playing and counting, same way that you played before, but in this case, we're going to do 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So there I am going on the end of 2 into beat 3 and the end of 4 into beat, I guess, 1 again. So one more time, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Now, it's important to mention that you should do this with a metronome to make sure that the notes are very steady. Once you have that, you are going to add on 2 and 4 the snare. So it sounds like this, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Now, that it doesn't matter if you want to practice super slow, but I do think you need to count out loud. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Now, once you have that, it's a good idea, and I have here a track that we created for this, but you can go very, very slow with the song. Make sure that you can play it and almost use the slowdown feature on YouTube to be able to play with the song. So So once you have that, the next step is to add a little embellishment, which is playing a couple of notes on the snare. So this is going to sound right, left, right. So you're going to do that after the beginning of beat 3. And what's interesting is that the song has that every 2 bars. So you're going to go 1 and 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3. So if I play the second measure, it's important to play the beat that we were playing before. 1 and 2 and 3. So that right, left, right, which is, we recommend that sticking for this. You want to do it right after you play the beginning of what will be beat 3, which is a kick and a hi-hat. So if I do that second measure again, 1 and 2 and 3. And I will practice just cycling that very slowly. 1 and 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3. Now, once you play that, then you can start cycling with 2 bars. The first part doesn't have this little drum fill. The second bar does. And you want to begin the whole pattern with a crash on 1. So it sounds like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. So that's going to be for all of the verses of the song. Now, of course, we will still recommend do this probably slowly with the track. And I definitely believe that probably count it out loud if you need to, just to know, especially because this cannot start early or go late, because then you'll probably fall out of sync. So let's try this. So this is the complete pattern with... Now, the good news is that then there's another part of the song, which we are going to be using as well, which is the choruses. And in the choruses, the only thing that changes is that you don't do this. And instead of that, you just stay silent. So we're going to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. And then 1 and 2 and 3. So if you hear it with the track, and I'll put it a little bit faster on this one. It's going to sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. So So that is our version of the song. Definitely make sure that you can practice it with the recording. It does go a lot faster. So it's important to be able to pick up the pace, especially if you're going to be playing these songs with other people, because other people in other instruments are going to need the actual speed of the song, including the singers. So if we play it really slow, or you need to play it slow, it's going to not necessarily fit or do justice to the song.